not set up for single moms. You will struggle. It will test you.
Now, I made this video about women a long time ago, but TikTok banned it. But I'm going to do it now. But before the earth got invaded and before they rearranged mankind, women, we were virgins having babies. We didn't need men to have babies at all. The way that we would have babies is that we didn't actually have physical babies. The females that was on earth, we bear fruit. And we didn't need an actual man. It was the energy. It was the certain time of the moon shift where we would get aroused and we will bear fruit. And the fruit that we will bear will actually be food to preserve the earth. So for example, if it's that time for me to bear fruit, to give birth, I would give birth to different fruits. And then people that is in the world, they will come and eat my fruit because I am the one that gives life. So the fruit that I bear, it gives life to other people. This is why they called us virgins. This is why we were given birth and we were virgins at the same time. And this is why we all had a hymen, and our hymen was never to be broken because we gave birth in a different way. And it was the energy. Because one thing about the feminine, masculine energy, the energy of Christ is feminine and is masculine. So not only did the trees bear fruit, the female trees bear fruit, but the female also bear fruit. This is why we lived in a world where we never would go hungry. We had enough fruit on earth to last us for eternal life. The water gave us the nutrition that we need. It gave us the nourishment that we need. The water that we drink, that we used to have in our old world before it got invaded, it came from the fountain of youth. So every time when you drink water, it would not only refresh you, but it would keep you younger. The sun that we lived under, it gave us our power and it gave us our energy. So the way that women gave birth in the original days in the very beginning, it was the energy of the sun that gave us the fruit in us to bear. It was the moon that gave us our cycles. So that case, we knew when it was time to bear fruit. But when the Anunnakis came on this planet, they recreated man. They recreated mankind and made us human. And they made the man, not the woman, because the woman was already here. They made the man in their image. And what they did was they took a piece of the woman and they created the man and gave him a penis. So that case, when we have babies, the man have to insert his penis and break the hymen. And that was our gift. That was our magical powers. That is what made us angel. That is what made us Christ's chosen people, because of how special and anointed we was. So when the Anunnakis made the man, they made the man with a penis. And the penis broke the hymen. It broke that. And when it broke the hymen, it made us bleed. This is why we really have periods. The only reason why a woman have periods is because we are reminded every month of what happened to us. If you notice, every time when you come on your period, you go through cramps, you go through bloating, you get mood swings, you get headaches, you go through all of this because we are being reminded every month on what happened to us in the very beginning. But in the very beginning, we didn't have periods. We didn't need that. But when the Anunnakis created the man in their image. And when the Anunnakis created the man in their image and their DNA, they wanted a piece of what we had because we were magical, powerful species. So after the Anunnakis created the man had to stick his penis in the hymen. and then a baby was formed inside of us. So now the baby that is born inside us, we are no longer bearing fruit anymore. We are actually bearing other humans because we were here to give life to the creatures that they created. So when the Anunnakis created the man, the Anunnakis needed a way to bring more humans into the world. So after they created the man, when the man stick his penis in a woman and break her hymen, that woman is bringing more humans to populate the earth. But in the beginning, the way we populated the earth was by nurturing the earth because we bear fruit. And when the women started giving birth to actual children, we were giving birth in their image because the man was in the Anunnaki's image. And we were they called us angels. So this is why we had the chromosome of the mother and the father. This is why we all had the 144,000 genes, okay? Because naturally, we didn't need a man to give birth. All we needed was the energy of the sun, and our cycles of birth when it was time to bear fruit came from the moon. This is why the moon controls the woman. So the Anunnakis used the angels to populate the earth. So we are still here doing our job, but we are doing it in a different way. This is why all women on earth, we have such a nourishing nature. We nourish, we give birth. You know, the energy that we have, we nourish the earth, and it is still in our DNA. And mothers are not meant to have human babies to carry around every day and to watch these babies and to change Pampers. That was never our job because we never had babies. We only bared fruits. And the fruits that we bear, it nurtured the whole entire earth. It was us that bare fruit. It was us that gave life. Because if we didn't bear fruit, then that means the earth would die because they need our food that we bear. And this is why they manipulated the woman body. And they manipulated the female trees because the female trees did the same thing that the woman body did. The female trees actually gave fruit and bare fruit so the world could eat. And the woman did the same exact thing. And when the man was created, the man was actually created to be the worker, to be the slaves. But the Anunnakis needed a way to put their DNA on earth. The Anunnakis needed a way to put their kind on earth. So they created a man and figured out a way how a man can impregnate a woman. This is why when a woman is ovulating, they have been lying to us people. When we ovulate and we start craving for sex, when we ovulate, that basically means that we are ready to bear fruit. But the way that they made the human and they rearranged our body, when we ovulate, we get extremely horny because that means we are ready to bear fruit. But now when we ovulate and we get horny, the first thing that we do is become sexual. We get horny because we are waiting for the man. Because now, in these times, now that we are human, we need a man to bear fruit. But we never needed a man to bear fruit because when it was time for us to bear fruit, we would get aroused and we would bear fruit. And when we would bear fruit, we would leave our food there. If we were back in the old times and it was now my cycle to bear fruit, I would basically plant a seed. I would bear my fruit there and I would leave because the sun and the moon and the water and the atmosphere would take care of that fruit. So within days, it's a fruit right there and somebody can come eat it. I didn't have to sit and watch the food because no one would damage it because it was nurturing the earth. If anything, they would eat it and it would give them life. This is why even though they recreated the woman, we still give life because they couldn't take that away from us. They just reprogram it and regenerate it on how we do it. But the Anunnakis needed their bloodline on this planet. So they created the man and they created a penis on a man so they can have their DNA on Earth. This is why all of us got Anunnaki blood.